Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 23rd of 2022, and with the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series now over, a lot of Star Wars fans are wondering and are a little skeptical about Star Wars Andor, which by the way is all set and ready to debut on August 31st. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we already know that George, John, and Dave are developing big plans for the future ahead when it comes to shows like Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and a lot of other unannounced TV shows as well that will be unveiled at, of course, Disney Plus Day and also at D23 and next year's Star Wars Celebration. So those are the three major events that are going to unveil more new Star Wars TV shows, new Star Wars movies, books, novels, comics, and video games, you name it. Now, on top of all of this, what's even all the more exciting is exactly what George Lucas is up to behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm when it all comes down to the Kenobi TV series. Now, we lightly discussed this a couple of days ago that they are going to be getting multiple writers for the second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi to really expand the overall tone of the Kenobi series, to really give it a different feel, to give it a different, overall flow, if you will. So, when you look at, of course, what Joby did, he obviously did not research a lot of the prequel trilogy, he didn't really research some of the lore, and really tended to take a lot of key elements from The Last Jedi and Star Wars Rebels specifically. Now, on top of all of this, alright, what's even all the more exciting has everything to do with what they have planned for George Lucas for Season 2 of the Kenobi TV series. Now, with that being said, of course, what's even all the more exciting about this major plan by Disney and Lucasfilm is that with Disney CEO Bob Chapek already involved in enhancing the roadmap of the Star Wars universe by John and Dave, the plans for the continuation of the Kenobi series are on the way and being planned out as we speak. Now, it's described, however, that behind the scenes, recently Bob Chapek made the ultimate decision to attach George Lucas not just as a co-writer, but also as a director for some of the episodes of the second season of the Kenobi series. It's described that Lucas will be writing and directing elements of the story of both Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn's Force training in the next chapter of the Kenobi series that they are aiming to drop on Disney Plus sometime by the end of 2024. Now, Liam Neeson has already been in contact by Lucasfilm to return to the role of Qui-Gon Jinn, and will be the first that, of course, a Force ghost will get long screen time in a Disney Star Wars project. Now, Lucas is described to have been the one who suggested that the follow-up story is to focus on Qui-Gon Jinn teaching Obi-Wan Kenobi lessons about the Force and Kenobi going on adventures across the sands of Tatooine and into new mysterious locations on the planet that will involve deep-rooted story elements for Luke Skywalker that will involve bounty hunters in the mix. Now, further, the plan by Lucasfilm is to have George Lucas as a co-writer and director who will handle the characters that were actually from the prequel trilogy movies. Familiar villains as well as new ones will be joining Season 2 of the Kenobi series, and that Lucas is said to be handling Luke's story as well. A script is already set to begin by the end of this summer, and that in the meantime, Favreau and Filoni will be joining the project as well. This season, however, is set to shift away from Leia and Reva, and will not include those characters. Tusken Raiders, bounty hunters, as well as dark side users and familiar villains will be used in the planned 10-part season. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, the thing about this that's so exciting to me is that they are planning on making Season 2 10 episodes. That would be longer than the Mandalorian treatment, and I gotta say, that's impressive. I mean, that's better, as long as they can stick to that, overall plan and make these episodes long and not 35 minutes, I think that's perfectly fine. Now, if they can actually create a well-rooted story that surrounds the character of Luke, that would also be, a big, strong point for the Kenobi series. They have to take that with great care. You can't do another kidnapping, I'm sorry, you can't do that again, because we already saw that, twice or 3 times in the Kenobi series? I guess twice, right? With Leia, and I think it would be very repetitive if they were to do a kidnapping with Luke, just like Leia was, used in this first season. So, they can't really do a kidnapping with Luke's story, so it really makes you wonder, what in the world kind of story could they really explore with Luke? That's the biggest question of all, right? And that is something that is really up to a big mystery. Now, we already know that it's very, lightly assumed here that Reva knows who Luke is. It's never really told to the fans directly, but it comes off like she knows. So, to our knowledge so far, the only ones that know about Luke's existence as Anakin's son is Beru, Owen, Luke, or Kenobi rather, and Reva about Luke. So, on top of this, moving forward from all of that, alright, now Lucas, of course, however, is begging Disney to call it a Season 2 and to bite the bullet by accepting that they will be breaking their limited TV series promise. Initially, Lucasfilm wanted to just add on parts to the show. However, with adding on 10 new episodes, it would really come off as not being a limited series. Both Hayden and Ewan are set to return to their roles, as well as Ian McDiarmid as Emperor Palpatine. Now, the hunt for Kenobi will be a side focus by the Empire. Lucasfilm was already using some of the unused concepts from Season 1 to be used in 2, where one piece of concept art that was meant for Season 1 even included the return of Mace Windu as a big cameo that was actually deleted, and that is something that Lucas is still set to handle for the next season of Kenobi by Disney. Now, Chapek wants to make sure that this season will have an even darker tone and a new personal story for Darth Vader that will have an even darker tone overall across all episodes. Ewan and Hayden are already getting ready to work for other shows like Star Wars Ahsoka and new untitled live-action projects that will be announced on Disney Plus Day. Deborah Chow and Joby Harold are also set to not return. So they are getting new creatives coming on board of the second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second before we move on to something more exciting, is that this season in particular, we talked about this a couple days ago, that they are planning on tripling the budget to really make it all the more cinematic with better CGI, better de-aging technology for more Clone Wars era flashbacks that will be used, and a lot of other aspects that are going to make their way into the Kenobi series. So you can see what they're trying to do here. Basically, Kenobi is going to become a gateway of multiple possibilities to explore. And there's already a spin-off in the works of the Inquisitors and exactly how they became the Inquisitors, from being Jedi to those Inquisitor characters, such as, the Grand Inquisitor, Fourth Sister, Third Sister, and of course, the brother. All of these different characters will be explained in a spin-off, and that's going to be announced this fall, so keep your eyes open for that. But overall, I think that George Lucas knows exactly what he's doing with the character of Kenobi. I think that you're going to see a better direction, the fact that he will be directing a handful of episodes, probably 2 or 3 episodes tops, give or take. I don't really see him directing all these episodes, highly doubt that. But it is said to be a handful, and they already have a lot of plans all mapped out for the Kenobi show. And that really does speak volumes. It's only fair if you think about it. Why would Kenobi be the only major character to be a limited series? Meanwhile, Ahsoka gets, multi-seasons already. Or Andor gets multi-seasons already. And that's a character that not a lot of people really seem to be invested in. And he already got 2 seasons right off the bat. Originally it was 3, by the way. But overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about this entire plan by Lucasfilm, between what they're planning with Luke, Qui-Gon, Kenobi, and more. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you have to say about that below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.